everybody, my name is Sarah and I am an educator here at Wonders of Wildlife, and I want to welcome you to creature crafting. So today what we're going to be making is we are going to be making a coffee filter jelly. We'll be talking about why we call it a jelly instead of a jellyfish. So make sure that you grab an adult to help you find the supplies that you will need. All right, so the supplies that you will need for this craft are 3 coffee filters, some tape, scissors, markers, 6 to 12 inches of string, and a spray bottle. And if you don't have a spray bottle, it is okay. I can show you or tell you what you can do. We will be using several filters. We will be using 3 filters. So 1 for the bell of the jelly, and then 2 for the arms or the tentacles of the jelly. All right, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take one of the coffee filters and I'm gonna take blue, purple, and green, and I am going to scribble on my coffee filter. So I'm gonna take blue in the center, and then purple around the blue, and just a scribble. If you wanna give it some pattern, you absolutely can. And then green around that. So I am only going to scribble on 1 coffee filter. So I am going to stack the other coffee filters. So I have my spray bottle, and remember, if you don't have a spray bottle, it's okay. You can just grab some water and actually sprinkle it on your tissue, on your coffee filter. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna hold my coffee filter and then I'm gonna spritz it down. You can see that it is already changing and it will blend. And then I'm gonna put it off to the side because it needs to dry for around 15 minutes. All right, so while we wait for our filters to dry, let's talk a little bit more about our jellies, jellyfish. So if you notice that I've been calling them jellies and not jellyfish, that is because they are not fish. So jellies actually belong to a phylum called Cnidaria. Other animals in that phylum are going to be corals and going to be some anemones. And the cool thing about all of these 3 animals is that they have stinging cells called nematocysts. So they use their nematocysts to capture food. The jelly is going to have the nematocyst in the feeding arms or tentacles. The medusa or the bell does not have any stinging cells at all. So when it comes to jellies, there are over 2,000 species of jellies found throughout the world. Warm water, cold water, and even fresh water. So here at Wonders of Wildlife, we have Atlantic nettles, and they kind of look like this jelly that I've made. They have some orange coloration, and they have the long feeding tentacles or long feeding arms. We also have some moon jellies, and those don't have the long arms. They have short arms just around the medusa itself. We also have blue blubber jellies, and not only are they blue, they can also be brown or they can be white, and their arms are a little stockier, and the coloration comes actually from what they eat. So some jellies can actually be very, very big, like a lion's mane jelly, where its arms can reach almost 100 feet. So there is a lot of different jellies. So just like I mentioned before, with your coffee filters, they can be any color you want because there is a lot of different jellies out there. And now that your coffee filters are dry, we are going to be making those arms. So we're going to be using 2 of the coffee filters, so I will set 2 of them off to the side. And what you're going to do is you're going to grab your scissors and you are just going to cut around the coffee filter in a spiral. Remember that if you need help, make sure to ask an adult for help. So I'm just going to start going in a circle here. And remember that it doesn't have to be too thick or too thin as you cut your coffee filter. But you need to make sure that you go all the way through because we need some long arms for our jelly. So just keep cutting. Towards the end here, you'll have a little piece, it's a little round, and what you can do is you can leave it or you can cut it, depending how you want it. And I'm just gonna cut it off. So now we have our 2 coffee filters that are cut for our arms. So the next thing that you are going to do is you are going to get some tape, and we're going to tape it to the bell or the Medusa of the jelly. So we have 1, 2, 3. And I'm gonna grab my tape and get some pieces. Again, if you need the assistance of some adults or of an adult, go ahead and ask them for help. So what you're gonna do with your arms is you're actually gonna kind of fold it in half, okay? But really, it doesn't have to be even because some arms can be longer than others. So what I'll do is I'll find kind of the center of my coffee filter here for my Medusa or my bell, and I'm gonna use the piece of tape to tape it there. And I'll grab another piece of tape. And I have the second arm here. And I will fold it in half a little bit. And as you can see, I'm gonna go across the other way. So you're gonna kind of make an X there. But again, you want it to be at the center of your filter, coffee filter. Okay, so now that you're done with those steps, what you're gonna do is you're gonna flip it over and you're gonna stretch out your arms. And I also like to give my Medusa a little squeeze so we can give it a little bit of shape. And you can bring it down that way. There's one more thing that we have to do because we want these to hang is that little piece of string, okay? So I just used some tape. We want to make sure that it stays there. So I'm gonna lay it on there, grab my piece of tape, maybe put it on your string first, and then make sure you apply some pressure. Now I'm going to show you the end result of our cool jelly here. All right, so now that you have your string on your bell or your Medusa, you're all done with your jelly. So you're just going to lift it up like that, and there is your jelly. So what you can do is you can actually make your own story. Where does your jelly live? Where is it found? What does it do? What do the colors mean? So make that story, and maybe you can tell it to somebody else. Or if you make lots of jellies, you can have a jelly party.